Resolutions calling for a convention to propose congressional term limits amendment to the U.S. Constitution are being filed in more state legislatures. Stay tuned to find out if your state is among this week's list. Hi, I'm Holly Robichaud, and this is U.S. Term Limits Breaking News. First up, we've got significant movement in Georgia. A new bill for congressional term limits was just introduced by Representative Scott Hilton with bipartisan support of nearly 60 state representatives. This is exciting news that we have so much support in Georgia. We'll keep you posted on our progress down there. In Kentucky, State Representative William Lawrence has filed Joint Resolution 66 that would have Kentucky join the roster of states calling for congressional term limits. In the Keystone State, Pennsylvania State Senator Cherrick Coleman has signed on as the Senate sponsor of Senate Resolution 225. In addition, Pennsylvania State Representative Jared Solomon has signed on as our House sponsor of the House Resolution 183. Support for congressional term limits continues to surge, and given Congress's stagnation on the key issues, states across the nation are taking the initiative. In Indiana, the State House, as previously reported, passed the U.S. Term Limits Amendment. We're waiting for the Indiana State Senate to pass it next. In Florida, the first state to support the call for congressional term limits, the state legislature just passed a resolution reaffirming its support for congressional term limits. Florida is also moving to enact legislation that would set term limits for county commissioners. Way to go, Florida! Over the past 2 weeks, we saw an additional 41 state legislative candidates sign our pledge. That's right, an additional 41. The number of legislative candidates continues to exponentially increase weekly, all because people like you who support term limits and the power that you have at the ballot box. We have breaking news coming out of Congress. 3 more members officially co-sponsored our resolution to propose a term limits amendment on Congress. That's right, 3 new members, 2 incumbents in the House, Representative Young Kim and Representative Michelle Steele, both of California, just co-sponsored House Joint Resolution 11. Also in the U.S. Senate, Nebraska Senator Pete Ricketts just co-sponsored Senate Joint Resolution 2 for term limits on Congress. That brings our total number of members on our bills on Capitol Hill to 126. That's right, 20 senators and 106 representatives. This is amazing news, and we thank them for all the support. Congressional candidates across the nation of all political affiliations are continuing to see the widespread support that congressional term limits has. Over the past 2 weeks, we have seen an additional 26 congressional candidates sign our U.S. term limits pledge. For months now, we've seen an exponential trend in new pledge signers. When this election season comes to an end, it'll be our highest number ever. Now for an update on United States Senator Bob Goldbar Menendez. Senator Menendez is asserting that taking bribes from foreign governments was part of his legislative duties. That's right, part of his legislative duties. As expected, the Department of Justice opposed this statement and replied that taking bribes from foreign governments is in fact not part of a senator's duties. Who knew? And now it's time for the Corrupt Politician of the Week. And this week, Georgia Representative Nathan Deal makes our list. He served in the Georgia State Senate for 12 years. Then he served in the U.S. House of Representatives for 17 years. And then he was governor of Georgia for 8 years. MSNBC cites Deal's ethical transgressions, such as the head of the State Ethics Commission said that she was threatened and pressured by Governor Nathan Deal's office in 2012 to make complaints against the governor go away, according to a memo obtained by the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. Additionally, MSNBC reveals that while on vacation in July 2012, the state ethics director received a call from Deal's chief counsel and text from his chief of staff in response to an open records request. The ethics director claims that the chief counsel said it was not in the agency's best interest for these cases to go to a hearing, nor was in their best political interest either. That same year, the Ethics Commission went through multiple lawsuits in 2012 over claims by employees that were being pressured, harassed, and even fired for failing to quietly resolve complaints against Deal. Now, the current director herself released a 2012 memo alleging highly inappropriate pressure and threats from the governor's office to make ethics complaints go away. See why we need term limits? Oh. Hey, Term Limits Day is right around the corner on February 27th, and we need your help. We need you to get hashtag Term Limits Day trending on social media. Please share posts on Facebook, X, YouTube, TikTok, or your favorite platform, letting the world know why you support term limits on Congress. If you can't make your own, please share ours. You can find us on most platforms at US Term Limits. Don't forget to use the hashtag Term Limits Day, all one word, and share with everyone you know. Congressional term limits can become a reality, but we need your help. Remember, Term Limits Day is coming up on February 27th, so make sure to use hashtag Term Limits Day to help us get trending on social media. We need your help also by going to termlimits.org and getting involved today. And be sure to share this program with your friends and family every week. This is Holly Robichaud for U.S. Term Limits Breaking News. I'll see you next week.